Sup KBA Squad, this is Last Shelter. Now today we're going to talk about Warbadges and the cutting edge technology. It's something that I haven't really talked about yet since it's primarily always been about hero drops, token shop refreshes and so forth. But I want to give a wider sort of understanding and tutorial on how you can, I guess, get Warbadges organically, and also some of my thoughts on more of the better value packs if you decide you want to spend a little bit to get yourself more stronger than the organic progress, and the ways that you want to approach at least progressing through cutting edge, whether you are going pure organic, have VIP store open, spending minimally, or you just want to blaze through and make the most of those returns. So make sure you check out onetechtraveler.com if you want to read more about Warbadges, heroes, and anything else. Keep it locked here at Phoenix Plays by subscribing to my YouTube channel and checking out Last Shelter in the playlist. And I want to thank today's video sponsor, Leo's VIP Club, giving you direct access to APC and base skins. There's a whole raft of APC and base skins to choose from now that give you a variety of combat and development boosts, whether that's blast in the sky, increasing a training speed for your fighters and vehicles, especially the floating city, which I'm sure a lot of you are trying to do with a very competitive Eden map so far. If you've got any of those, or you want to fill out the decor album that also give you additional buffs as well as super tickets and diamonds, then make sure you check out the complete base skin and APC catalog at Leo's VIP Club. I'll put the link down below. Alright, so starting from the basics, what are Warbadges? They're kind of your advanced technology currency from Courage Medals, which gives you kind of a big differentiator once you have similar heroes, whether you've maxed them, Baneblade sets and everything else. Cutting Edge is going to be a big differentiator because it's quite an exclusive currency that's very difficult to accrue organically, and also gives you some huge boosts as well. So to give you an idea, the way it works, it looks similar to all of your other technologies, but it kind of starts to break down once you get the first 4 rows, and that's because you get the same technologies available for each of the fighters, shooters and vehicles. You do need to max them all, and you can obviously unlock T10s here, but what it does is also give you boosts in training T10s, the resource costs, which is very heavy, but also buffs that extends not only T10s but also T9s and any others, with huge boosts like 30% on resistance, might, HP, all the way at the bottom as well as the top. You also get these specialization points similar to Doomsday with the specialty trees, whether that's construction, resource or combat. We've got this much widened sort of, it used to be a pyramid, it's now kind of like a square, or you can kind of see it as a flat lay pyramid. And these are going to give you different attributes or buffs, whether that is decreasing research time, the amount of Warbadges, some combat buffs, whether that's HP, might, resistance, or increasing the limit. And then once you increase those trees, it's also these connected buffs for T10s, whether again that's training cost, speed, damage or extra limits. So in a nutshell, that is kind of what cutting edge is. Now to get Warbadges, you'll find you get a few in the helicopter drops per day. You can expect anywhere between 50 up to 200. It is random, it's not fixed like Baneblade cores, but you might find yourself getting a little bit more than others. It'll kind of average out about 100-ish, 150. That's what you can kind of expect. It's mostly going to take Courage Medals, and then diamonds roughly 800 or 900, depending if you have Esquire Station as the development hero. That decreases trading hub prices by 10%. You also get some limited events. We don't have any running right now, but if you're during your Doomsday season, occupying territories, doing all those kind of stuff can give you like 1,000 Warbadges, which is going to help you organically. Also, if you have a VIP store unlocked, so of course this is for those who have at least put a little bit of money into the long-term strength of your base. Unlocking that, you get great or excellent value that you can pick up Warbadges on Gathering and Research Day. So this is Research Day right now. You can pick up 1,000 on each of those days for 100,000 VIP coins. So I'm going to do that now. And pick those up. great. And that's kind of it organically. Limited events and helicopter drops. If you have VIP store open, then that is going to open up an additional 2,000 war badges. If you are spending a little bit of money, then you want to go trade supply. Always represents the best value for money. $5, €5, £5. You can get 3,500 war badges, and you can kind of top that up now and then. It's going to help you a lot. Because of how difficult they are to attain, then actually you probably want to start allocating some, half or even the majority of your coins towards war badges, depending where you are with your wider development. So if you already have some solid APCs built up and pretty much got one Baneblade set, I would say that's kind of the minimum to kind of feel a little bit strong. Then that's when you want to start shifting your Doomsday coin spend to war badges, which is what I have done. Legendary recruitment tickets are good. You can kind of get up to 3 a day, or 4, I think, probably 3 a season, sorry. But that's pretty random, and again, you might not get the hero that you want. So in terms of your development returns, it's pretty unpredictable, and group 1's generally what you want to go into because the other groups are a little bit hit and miss. So if you want to just guarantee your steady progress for the long term, once you of course have done your Baneblade, I would still say at least pick up the 45,000 energy cores here for 90k, which you'll definitely get over the season, and then spending everything else minus, say, if you do any basic specialty resets and so forth, to spend them on war badges. The maximum amount you can get is 30,000 a season, and it's 360,000 coins, but 30,000 is quite a lot, although you would need that for the higher levels where they can definitely accrue a lot of war badges. So yeah, making full use of that 30,000 or as close to it is going to really improve you going forward. Now, since we're in tech day, I've currently got a few running in terms of attacks, and then I'll talk about a breakdown of how you might want to approach leveling up through cutting edge. So firstly, let's just complete this. It is heavy weapon. And I've kind of gone a little bit of a different route to why you might want to do something else, but I also justify why I took this route. So firstly, boom, look at that. Level 8 to level 9 already got me my 9 boxes. So that's pretty dope. Like, that's huge. Luckily, I didn't have to spend that much speed ups on this tech speed up hourly, because this was crazy. But yeah, obviously definitely sound off in the comments what your percentage your cutting edge is. If you, of course, organically, it's going to be much slower, but that's why these videos are here to like help you and guide you to better understand why you might want to go down a certain path. But once we finish collecting all of these chests, boom, I'll just collect the bottom ones as well. A good tip, if you want to sort of kind of rush the chest, if you tap towards the bottom of your screen, it will automatically show the visuals. Done. And get the hourly, 47 million. So even with hardly any speed ups in this, absolutely blasted it. I did hit number 1 in an hourly when I did this higher level tech. And let's just see where I am so far. Nice, shot to 18 early so far. Okay, so cutting edge, what I would advise for everyone to do, if cutting edge is just opening up in your season, then you'll get a couple of war badges that allows you to unlock 1 T10. I can't remember if it was like 10, 15 or 20,000. Someone can comment to let me know if that's still the same. But what you want to do is basically level one of these trees, whether that's fighter, shooters or vehicles, depending where you are much better developed, all the way down to level 5, and then that can open up the chance to do T10. Once you've done that, then it's really just fleshing out this part, and that's a good development for your specialty points to build up, but also just give you a general buff increases for your T9s across all of the troops. As you go down from there, then the amount of war badges start to increase significantly until you get to like the T10 training stuff, and once you've sort of unlocked the Warbadge reduction in the specs, yeah, you can see that's very cheap, 95. Normally, if you remove that, that's 345. So you do want to balance your development of the actual combat strength, but also make sure you increase your specialty points here. But once you've done those first 4 rows, so until you've done that, you kind of don't want to go any further. You can hold off on the T10 stuff if you're not really rocking them. So take the first 3 rows all the way to max once you've unlocked one of these. And for me, it was T10 vehicles first. And then once you're there, you actually want to just focus that all the way down. This row here, you need to complete all 3 of these before you unlock the next one down here. And each one is roughly 10,000 Warbadges. So yeah, 30,000 Warbadges just to complete this, which is roughly a full season's worth of Warbadges from the Doomsday shop. This one is relatively small, and you can take that up to 5. And once you've done that, then you can kind of go crazy on these ones and get that down to 5. Once you've done that, then you can open up heavy weapon, which is going to be another stumbling block with the amount of Warbadges. Take that up to level 5, and then you can take this level 5. So it's really just going level 5 all the way down, and you're going to benefit from some of the buffs that you get here. So 3% on the HP, 9% on the resistance, and then 9% on the might. Now, once you've kind of gone there, then it's really down to your overall like strength of heroes and what you're rocking most. For me, I kind of had mostly vehicles, which was great, but I was kind of lacking a damage dealer. But it actually meant I went to just sort of get that tree to level 5. After a while, I thought as I was developing shooters and fighters that I kind of unlocked those fighters and shooters, and then basically slowly make my way down. However, if you have a bunch of Warbadges, it's kind of, do you want to make yourself average, like relatively strong across the average set of T10s, or do you want to like hit hardest with your more specialized or your strongest sort of troop type? So for me, that was vehicles. And actually what I've done now, because Warbadges are insanely a lot for the later trees, then I decided to actually just go hard on the strongest that I have, which are vehicles, and at least make some inroads. If you're kind of average, you're just never really going to break through. But if you're kind of pushing your strength in where you are best at, then you're going to give yourself a little bit more of a chance if you are competing, say, in Kill Enemy or Eden Seasons. So for me, if I look at this, the amount of Warbadges to max T10 vehicle damage is crazy. You can see it's a 13.7 even after picking up the Warbadges. So you do have to save quite a lot. And considering that, you can also see how much it will cost to open these up, like 4,000. So that's roughly equivalent to 4 or 5 research tags of this equivalent. Or down here, you can kind of nearly max this whole tree. Why have I done it this way? Again, I mentioned I want to bolster my highest strength. And even though I kind of lose a little bit of the specialization points by kind of doing the level 5s earlier and then maxing this section, being level 31 is kind of decent enough. I actually went left, and most people should be doing this. One, because you have HP, which is kind of the best defensive attribute since it cannot be countered. I actually went down for the research time by 3%. You have the fixed amounts, which can kind of help in the beginning, but over the time as you are unlocking the bigger tech trees, then the percentages are going to work more favorably for you. And from here, once you get to minus 250 on the Warbadge reduction, then you can either choose to start going down another spec tree. It is 8 points for the last 2, which increase the overall effects by 5%, but that can get you kind of quarter way down another tree. This will help with your speed ups reduction. This way is for cash. We also get might down here, and then the Warbadge consumption by 5%. So in terms of the long game, and reason why you might want to go the average route by sort of doing the lighter spec trees for the others once you get to this stage is because you can power through more of the specs points to allocate them later on. But since I kind of maxed the whole tree on the left, and it's going to be slow gains to try and get to the Warbadge reduction and the mites, then I thought I'm just going to go and max this while I have the Warbadges, because it's going to take some time. But once you're here, again, it's crazy the amount of power that you receive. So you can see here 490, 638, so you get 140 million, like crazy amount, probably 60 million in an hourly. And you can easily max 9 boxes from level 7 onwards, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, if you're going hard in this, from level 5 it's kind of incremental, but 5 to 10, that's when the stats become huge. So from level 5 it was just 5%, level 10 is 20%. That's big. Once you get down to the later ones, again 9% up to 30%, huge. And that all sort of accumulates later on. So I've kind of just bet more on my vehicles, even though I've had a little bit more development on the fighters and shooters. That would obviously be helpful when it comes to mixed combat. And if you're kind of a bit more balanced, then you might want to go down that route of unlocking these trees. But yeah, since I'm very vehicle heavy, I'd rather just kind of push through this at least, and then take my time on the other trees. And the final thing I kind of glossed over when it comes to sort of maxing these deeper level tech, so T10 damage, maxing that. If you actually look at the breakdown, you can see those speed up specialty points. Unless you have an abundance of speed ups, or even if you think you have a lot, it will go really quick. You can see here it's going to take 48 days to upgrade it. So since I've kind of had a lot of speed ups stacked, it's been great for doing hourlies, and it's something that I'll take my time on. But you can see its original time was 60 days, so those specialty points really help a lot. It's not just that, it's also resources. These are very resource and time heavy. So 40 million on the oil, 20 million on the iron. Iron is always very limited, so something to bear in mind. And then finally, the reason why I kind of went to the edge, I wanted to increase the combat buff, since I'm not able to do a lot of tech at one go, so it just gives me a little bit extra. But you'll find that 5% increase will kind of stack over time. So since I've completed that, if we look at this, it kind of started at 20% for the max status. That 5% basically gives it an additional 1%, which is really small. But as you start doing more specialty points, and if I go down south, then that 5% stacks with the other 5% down here, then that becomes 10%. And then you start to see how that can accumulate and amplify the overall effects. So just a few things to bear in mind with the speed ups. You can never have enough speed ups, and that just shows you 48 days is pretty crazy. So take your time on Warbadges. It's something that you have to just do over time, especially if you're not really buying any of those packs, or if you're just relying organically. There are those who are just going to have a significant leg up, who are sort of maxing these trees very quickly and just spending a crap load of money. So just put that into perspective, that you're just not really gonna be able to compete to an extent with them at the same level. But if your hero development is good, if you got one Beyblade set, and if you are being a bit more strategic on these Warbadges, then you'll find you're not too far away, especially if you get those heroes reconstructed with quality skills. Now, if you are looking to spend, of course, I mentioned trade supplies is where you want to do the Warbadges, but you can also do it through the arms supply, which again is kind of an equivalent. It gives you slightly less when you tally up over the 30 days, but you do get additional researches and diamonds. You can obviously switch that to Beyblade Super Energy Cores. I'm just like doubling down on Warbadges because of how much it makes a difference. That's definitely a lot to sort of digest there, but it's kind of a deep insight into some of the detailed mechanics of Warbadges and cutting edge tech. I would highly recommend to just pick up as much of the Warbadges from the Doomsday shop. Again, if you are long term, I would suggest it, and then just save your season rewards tickets for your hero development and those super ticket drops as well. Thanks a lot, KBA Squad. That's Warbadge tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it down below, or any more specifics around Warbadges. Hopefully can fill out more of that series as we are developing and sharing my thoughts. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace.